When you go to Sandra Bullock's IMDb page, you're going to see a lot of movies. You got Gravity, Speed, Bird Box, The Blind Side. But right there at the very beginning, the movie that she's most well known for is The Proposal. Not Miss Congeniality, not Hope Floats, not even 28 Days. So what is this weird 2009 movie starring her and Ryan Reynolds? Why is it so important? You know damned right why this is the most important movie on her IMDb. Because it's not a Sandra Bullock movie at all. It's a Betty White movie. Welcome to You've Got Mails.
From the windows to the wall, till Betty White culturally appropriates Native American heritage. Ah, skeet skeet, motherfucker. Welcome to You've Got Mails. God damn!
Oh, skeet skeet, amen, sir.
CJ, how are you today, buddy?
I'm doing okay.
Just okay?
No, I'm doing great, buddy.
Yeah, I am too. I'm doing pretty good. Much better than last week. Last week was just kind of a downer for me. I don't know why. I wasn't in the right headspace. The movie kind of sucked.
Yeah.
It just wasn't, I wasn't feeling it.
This movie is about at the same level, but I'm focusing on the positive.
You think this movie's the same level as last week's movie?
No, you've already talked me out of it.
Yeah.
I like this one more.
I mean, this movie has Betty White.
It's got Sandy B.
Yeah, Sandy B. Today on You've Got Mails, everyone, we'll be talking about 2009's The Proposal, starring Sandy B. and heartthrob Ryan Reynolds.
I've told people that we've watched this, and
Yeah.
they were excited. Apparently, this was a big movie that I had never heard of.
This was a big movie. Like, I was looking up some of the box office stuff, and I think it was like around like between 30 and 40 million to make, and it made like 186 million, like just domestic box office, and then a bunch more like overseas and DVD sales. So this was a very big hit. And at the time, this was like Sandra Bullock's like highest grossing movie.
No, really?
Yeah.
More than Speed,
That's what I read.
which is a love story.
Because
It's
she
going
did
on
an
the list.
interview where they asked her like how it felt, and she's like, well, I guess I have to be naked in all my movies now because it's clearly the reason why this movie made so much money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to look up Sandra Bullock, because I haven't seen her in a movie lately.
Yeah.
She is 60 years old.
Get out of here.
That's what I said when I saw the pictures of her.
Still looks good, right?
Amazing.
Yeah. Her and Jennifer Aniston, I feel like, are both in that like category. They just don't age.
This movie has Sandy B., Mary Steenburgen, and Betty White.
Yeah.
So I'm just calling this fine wine the movie.
Yeah, you got a thing for Mary Steenburgen, don't you? Isn't that a thing? Am I wrong?
Not going on the record.
That's a yes. That's a hard yes. All right. Well, let's get into it.
All right.
Shall we? The movie opens with our girl Sandy B riding like a Peloton bike, watching a video, like riding through the forest while she's reading a manuscript. So you know, like from the get-go, that the B in Sandy B, that means business.
Oh, yeah.
She business is hard. So when I first started watching this, and I'm going to save what I think till the end, but immediately this screamed to me, business-oriented,
Type A.
needs a man in her life to loosen her up, romantic comedy trope that we
Yes.
get a lot of. And I was thinking that that's what we were going to get. What my answer to what I think we got may surprise you.
Oh,
But I'm going to save that for my final gestures.
good, because I'm still kind of viewing it that way.
Okay, well, we'll talk about it. I kind of like what they did here. But so we see her, obviously, from the get-go. I mean, she works while she exercises. She's a hardcore business lady. I think that's what they're going for in
Yeah.
this scene. Intercut that with scenes of Ryan Reynolds, who's waking up a little bit late. He's scrambling to get out of the house. He seems stressed. Runs to the coffee shop, gets 2 coffees, gets bumped right to the front of the line by the barista. Like, she already has his order ready for him.
Have you ever tried looking like Ryan Reynolds?
That's what I was going to say. This is the Ryan Reynolds treatment at Starbucks. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. Like, you don't get that treatment if you look like us. But if you look like Ryan Reynolds...
The guy's hair,
fucking
the product in
cinnamon
his hair
lattes.
costs more than my entire fucking wardrobe.
You look good in this movie. What am I going to say? But he's getting coffees, and he gets bumped up to the front line. You can tell the barista kind of like sweet on him. It's not because he's Ryan Reynolds in the movie.
I mean, you're
per
minutes
se.
away from a man literally giving his shirt off his back to him.
But so he gets the coffees, and then he runs to work, and we also get scenes of Sandy B. Her character's name is Margaret. His character's name is Andrew. I'm going to try to go with the character names in this case. Yeah, I don't know. Try something different.
all
Instead of
right,
going by the
let's try.
Sometimes I like to use the character name. Sometimes I like to use the actor name. If there's a huge cast like last week, I ain't remembering all those fucking names.
No.
I can remember 2 names. That's easy.
We're still calling her Betty White, though, right?
Fuck yeah.
All right,
It's
cool.
Yeah, because I don't
You
think
put her some respect on
she
that
doesn't
name.
have a name in this except for like Gammy. So, like,
I would call her Gammy if I knew her personally.
She's Betty White. We get Margaret on her way to work as well on the phone, and we find out that she's a editor for a big book company, and she's talking to a guy on the phone, like trying to convince him to do Oprah. Which, if you like wrote a book, you shouldn't need convinced to be on Oprah.
He sounds like a George R. R. Martin type. Like, kind of a little reclusive, like he just likes to do his own thing.
Yeah.
It sounds like he, or like a Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah.
Or something.
But, you know, she's explained to him, like, if you do Oprah, then, like, this is going to like, quadruple your book sales or whatever. And Oprah, if you're listening, you could give us a shout out. You know, you've got mails. That would help us out immensely.
Yeah. Hot off of the DNC, I'm sure she's got a little time.
I mean, I don't know. She might be listening. Oprah, if you give us a shout out, we will do Color Purple on the next episode, and you can guest.
Silence. Dead silence. She's just...
Well, I don't expect her to... In her car right now, she's like, yes, and you get a shout out, and you get a shout out, and you get a shout out. We love you, Oprah. But they're on their way to the office. Ryan Reynolds, like, rushes into the office, and as he's coming in, he bumps into a guy and spills coffee all over himself.
I didn't like the way he reacted here.
What did he say? I don't know what he did.
He just, like, screams an expletive at the guy. Like, it's his fault. He turns around, slams right into this guy. Look where you're going. It's my pet peeve. I don't care if you're looking at your phone, but, like, when you're walking backwards talking to somebody real quick and you think you're just going to turn around and keep going in that direction.
Yeah.
I hate that. Don't do that with two hot coffees. We all seen that woman from McDonald's. Like, you know what a boiling hot Starbucks will do to you.
Well, I think we find out, like, I don't necessarily think that Ryan Reynolds is upset at this guy. I think that he knows how awful of a person Margaret is at this point in the movie. And he realizes that his day has pretty much just been ruined.
Yes.
By his own fault, but I think it's just frustration and anxiety because his boss is a horrible, horrible person. And we find this out because when she walks into the office, everybody gets on their little instant messengers on their computer, and they say, it's here. Not she's here, it's here. Like, she is an evil entity in this office. And you can tell, you know, as soon as she walks in, everybody gets busy. Heads down, looking like they're working.
The skies get dark.
Yeah, they're terrified of her. Meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds is trading another man for his shirt so that he doesn't have coffee spilled all over it.
Say it again. Have you ever tried looking like Ryan Reynolds? People just give you shit.
We find out, you know, that Ryan Reynolds, Andrew, is Margaret's assistant. And one of the coffees was for her, one of the coffees were for him. So when she comes in, he gives her the coffee, lets her know. This is the first time that we hear that she has an immigration agent or lawyer that's been trying to get a hold of her. He lets her know this, and she kind of just blows that off. And he lets her know about some other appointments, things that are happening. And she wants him to push all the meetings aside because she is working hard on getting this guy on Oprah. And that's like where her focus is right now.
Mm-hmm.
He gives her coffee. And as he goes to leave the office, she realizes that the coffee has "call me" and then a phone number and the girl's name. And she's like, why does this girl want me to call her? He says, well, that was actually supposed to be my coffee. And she says, well, it looks like you drink the exact same coffee as me. Like, is that just a coincidence? And he says, yes. He's like, you don't think I would just drink the same coffee as you in case I spilled one, would you? And she's like, I kind of do, and that's really pathetic. Like, she's just very dismissive and cold to him.
This confused me a little bit because a few minutes before this, he wakes up late. So they're kind of setting the scene that he's a little bit of a slacker, but then it immediately cuts to him being like,
no, he's actually
on
great.
top of it.
He's actually a great assistant. We find out that he knows everything.
Eventually, he's on top of her, but at this point, he's just on top of the job.
He knows everything about this woman. Like, you can tell he is on his shit.
Yeah, I kind of like their dynamic. Everybody's terrified of her.
Yeah.
For some weird reason. Like, she doesn't actually do anything terrible. It's not like she's walking in like the Devil Wears Prada.
No, yeah, like she barely has any interaction with anyone in the office aside from Andrew's character. They just want you to know from the get-go that like everyone hates this woman. And there's probably a good reason for it.
And
like
he's
they don't
got
have
a little
to show
bit of a Chester thing going on where he can kind of speak truth to her a little bit. Like, he can be snarky, can be more direct with her.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. At this point, she says that they're going to Bob's office. And they go down and we meet Bob, played by Asif Manvi, who I always enjoy. He was a Daily Show correspondent.
Okay.
Around the same time this movie came out. Like, he was always really good on the Daily Show. We walk in and we find out that Bob was trying to get this author on Oprah and couldn't do it. And Margaret did. So she is firing Bob. Pretty much tells him, it actually gives him a pretty sweet deal, honestly. She's like, I'll give you 2 months to get all your affairs in order. You can work here for 2 more months, and then you can just tell people you resigned. Which, if you're getting fired, not a bad deal.
Yeah.
For her being an awful person, this is actually pretty nice. Because she tells him, I got the guy to do Oprah. You never even called him, apparently, is what I'm finding out. You're not doing your job.
Yeah, he didn't even do it.
Yeah, so I mean, it kind of sounds like maybe Bob isn't good at his job, and she gives him a pretty nice package to get out of there.
This is where I'm in defense of her. She doesn't do a mean boss thing in this. She just business as hard as fuck.
She does business hard. Well, I mean, she's not the greatest. We'll talk about it. But, so from there, she goes to leave, and she says to Andrew, like, what's he doing right now? And she goes, he's coming this way. And she says to herself, she's like, Bob, don't do it. Don't do it, Bob. Bob comes out and just has like a total meltdown, calls her a poisonous bitch, and then she fucking goes scorched earth on Bob, talking about how like he cheated on his wife and all. This is like blowing the dude apart, and then basically just fires him right there on the spot.
If you're gonna come at the king, you come correct.
Yeah. I mean, she wasn't fucking around, so basically emasculates Bob in front of everyone and sends him on his way. Immediately fired. Doesn't get the sweet deal anymore. Bob probably should have kept his mouth shut.
Yeah,
in my opinion. They go back into her office, and we find out that the head honchos of the book company want to see her in their office. She tells Andrew, come up in 10 minutes with a fake story, get me out of there. She goes up, and we find out that Margaret is Canadian. But this was funny. Ryan Reynolds actually is Canadian.
Yes.
Sandra Bullock is not.
Famously married Blake Lively so that he could stay in America.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No.
Oh.
Come on.
I didn't.
He married Blake Lively because she's Blake Lively.
That's fair. But we find out that Margaret's Canadian, and she's there on a work visa. And they specifically asked her not to go to a book fair out of the country. And she went anyway. And this went against some kind of law, so that now she is going to be deported back to Canada. And she offers that, that's fine, I can work from home until we get all this sorted out. And they go, no, if you get deported, you can't work for an American company. Which I don't know if any of this is true.
Yeah, it seems weird.
Yeah, it seems suspect. Like, I feel like you'd probably still work from home, and there's probably something you could do. But for the sake of
that work for Korean companies right now.
Yeah, for the sake of the movie, I guess we have to deport Sandra Bullock. At this point, Ryan Reynolds, Andrew, comes in to give her the fake story and get her out of the office. And he uses the words, Mary is on the phone. I told her you were otherwise engaged. And she gets...
Wow, I didn't even catch that.
Oh, yeah. So this gives her the bright idea. So she calls Andrew in and she says, guys, everything's fine because my assistant and I have been seeing each other secretly for months and we're getting married. We're engaged to be married.
Like, if this movie was made 10 years later, the bosses would have immediately been like, you're fired now because you're taking advantage of your position here.
Exactly. Listen
here, Weinstein. Get the fuck out of my bookstore.
I work in an office setting. We have to watch at least twice a year videos on like sexual misconduct and sexual harassment and things that are not okay to do in the workplace. She's checking a lot of fucking boxes.
Yeah, all right. So maybe she's not the best boss.
Well, I mean, she basically blackmails this guy into marrying her. It's called quid pro quo, CJ. I've seen the videos. It's threatening someone's job to do something like this. Usually it's worse than this. I mean, I guess just a fake marriage isn't quite as bad as actual sexual harassment, but still. Not above board, in my opinion.
No.
But she also kind of blackmails these bosses because she's like, we've all fallen for our secretary, haven't we? And she looks at the one guy. She's like, do you remember LaQuisha?
What a great name to pull out.
Yeah. Now, what happened to LaQuisha? Where's she at? She doesn't even work there anymore, this poor woman. So they're kind of like, all right, great. Make it legal, make it official. We're all good here. So they leave, and Ryan Reynolds is just like, he's really good in this. Like, I think his comedic timing is excellent. But the whole time they're like, she's telling them what's going on, and he's just like, no.
Yeah.
But he goes along with it. So they head right to the immigration office. And again, Margaret, not the best. She just cuts right to the front of the line, like real pompous. This is like cutting in line at the DMV. I mean, you've got a problem with people running into people like while not paying attention. I got a problem with line cutters.
Boston?
I don't know, honestly.
You try cutting in front of the line at a Dunkin' Donuts in Boston, you're going to catch the knife.
You get a stab in the kidneys.
Yeah. Actually, you don't even have to cut the line. Like, you just order the wrong fucking donut. She just does this at a DMV. Like, she should be dead, right?
They just hit a buzzer and Ben Affleck comes out in that full-body Dunkin' Donuts jumpsuit from the Super Bowl that one year and just stabs you.
Yeah.
Asks you how your mother is and then walks out. But yeah, they cut right to the front of the line at the immigration, and she's like, we're getting married. We need to get this taken care of. And like, okay, well, we'll take you into this side office. We've got someone that wants to talk to you. Here we get Mr. Gilbertson, who is like their, I don't know what, immigration, what would you call this
Super
guy?
cop?
Yeah, he basically is an immigration.
This guy has way too much going on to be as in-depth as he is on this.
Yeah, but he sits him down and he flat out is just like, I have a question for you two. Are you about to commit fraud? Because like I don't really see how like all of a sudden you're getting married when you're about to be deported. And they tell him like, hey, we're really in love. We shouldn't have fallen in love, but we did. And he's like, well, do your parents know? And Sandra Bullock, Margaret says, well, my parents are dead. And Andrew says, well, I'm going to see my parents this weekend, and we were going to tell them then.
Which she's all for.
Yeah, she's all for it. And he's like, well, listen, here's the deal. You go away this weekend, you do your thing. You're going to be back here Monday morning, and we're going to do a test where you have to answer. We're going to separate the two of you, put you in different rooms.
We're going to give you that little Scientology thing, check your thetan levels.
We're going to...
Like, he goes in depth, man. He's every question, every crevice, crannied.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he says, we're going to ask you both a bunch of questions. If your answers don't jive completely, you're going to be deported, Margaret. And Andrew, you're going to face up to $250,000 fine and 5 years in prison. So this is like no fucking joke. Like, if this doesn't work out, like, Andrew's putting a lot on the line here. Margaret's just getting sent back to Canada, which is going to happen if it doesn't work, if she didn't even try this. So she's really not losing anything, per se.
Yeah, he's going to commit a felony.
Yeah, and this doesn't seem to bother her at all. Like, she's like, because exactly what I said, if we try this and it doesn't work, I get deported. If we don't try it at all, I get deported. So, YOLO.
Like, let me ask you something.
Okay.
Would you commit a felony for your boss?
For my boss? No.
Yeah, to make some more money.
No, I don't think so.
Like, not a murder or anything, but like a little marriage fraud.
I mean, my boss is a guy, so I don't think that would... I mean, I guess it could work out.
Legal here?
It is legal. I mean, he's already married. I don't think I would. No, I don't think I would. If it came down to, like, a chance of me spending 5 years in prison and losing $250,000, I would not do this. And at this point in time, there's nothing in this for Andrew. Like, thankfully, when they leave the office, he kind of turns it around on her.
Oh, he takes the reins.
He does take the reins because he knows he's in a bit of a position of power here because she needs him to do this. He could just say no. She does tell him, though, like, if you don't do this, her bosses tell her that they're going to deport her and promote Bob, the guy that she just fired. And she lets Andrew know, like, if you don't do this, they're going to put Bob in charge, and the first thing he's going to do is fire you because you're with me. Like, guilty by association.
You're a loyalist.
So she has a little bit of a pull and like sway in him. But he turns it around and says, listen, I'll do this, but I want a promotion. You're going to make me an editor, and you're going to publish this manuscript that I've been pushing on you, that I've read that I think is really good, and you won't even look at. And then he also makes her get down.
It's called Mein Kampf 2.
No, God.
No.
And then he makes her get down on her knees in the street and actually ask him to marry her, which I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah, he goes full Ryan Reynolds out of nowhere.
Yeah, he does. So she gets on her knees and asks him politely to marry her. And then he drops it on her that they're going to see his parents in Alaska. And she's like, holy shit, Alaska. So she starts giving him orders, like, use the miles, get first class tickets, yada, yada, yada. And we'll go, and we'll do this thing. We see them on the plane, and Ryan Reynolds has the book of all the questions that they're supposed to ask each other, or get asked.
Which seems nice that they had the book.
That seems insane that they would have that book. I don't know where you get that book at, but they gave them all the questions for the test.
Yeah.
So theoretically, they could really just spend the whole weekend boning up on this and be perfectly fine in the interrogation. But she doesn't really seem to care at all. Like, he's reading her all these questions, and he knows all the answers. Like, she's like, well, what's my favorite, or what am I allergic to? What's my favorite color? All this bullshit. He knows it all. We find out that she knows very little about him.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So we get that little scene. They get the first class tickets, but the plane only goes so far until they have to get on, like, the scariest looking, like, puddle jumper plane that I've ever seen.
This one, it got me in, man.
Yeah.
I like the idea of death by air flight.
Jesus Christ.
Not for other people, just like that's the way I want to go. Eventually, 30 years down the line.
You are a turbulence junkie.
Yeah.
But they get on this tiny little plane, and they finally land in the town of Sitka, Alaska, which is actually a real town. Population 8,500, which seemed like a lot to me. But that's the real town in Alaska.
Yeah, as of right now, I saw this little interesting tidbit because his last name's Paxton,
Yeah.
and they own 3/4 of the town. The now mayor of Sitka, coincidentally.
His name is Paxton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it as of like 2018.
Not Bill.
No,
Paxton,
not Bill.
Not the cooler Paxton, just Paxton.
I wonder if he like ran on that, like if that was his campaign. Like, have you seen the movie The Proposal about our small little town?
And all 7 of the people living there were like, yeah!
Of course we have.
Sorry, Alaskan listener.
We don't have an Alaskan listener.
Not yet.
We'd like one. Maybe if Oprah gets involved.
We might have 7 by the end of this.
But, they get on the plane. They get to the airport where we're met by Andrew's mother and grandmother, played by 2 of CJ's favorite ladies, Mary Steenburgen, and the absolute treasure that is Betty White.
Yes.
Who is Gammy.
This movie gets extra points just for Betty White.
Anything does.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They show up. They've never met Margaret before, obviously, and they've heard awful things about her. Like, he does not like this woman. She's a bad boss. She treats him like shit. So he's obviously talked to them about, like, how she is. So they kind of hint at that. Like, Betty White is like, so do we call you Margaret or Satan's mistress? I've heard both.
Of course, she's adorable as hell.
Yeah, she is. Like, you could never be mad at Betty White. And, Margaret kind of just is very cold to them, not very friendly, but they accept her, and they're like, all right, well, you're married or whatever. Like, they don't seem to think there's anything wrong with this. Nobody's none the wiser, we'll say. But then, as like you said, as they're driving through town, every other storefront is named for them. Like, it's got the Paxton name on it. So you're starting to think, like, all right, this family's kind of a big deal in this town. They get to the docks where they have to take a boat to the house they live in. They get on the boat. They get to the house. This place is a mansion.
I gotta say, Alaska seems like a chore. 2 plane flights, a boat ride. Small town, though. It was quaint. I like the town.
Yeah, like, I think if you live there, it's fine. I think traveling there is a real pain in the ass.
Like, what if you just get up and you're like, man, I need some McDonald's?
Not to mention, like, death by moose.
Yeah.
You know what? I was going to say, like, scariest animals. It goes goose and then moose. And I don't know if there's a correlation because they rhyme, but it might be.
Have you ever seen... all right.
Animals with 2 O's will fuck you up.
Have you ever seen, like, little Alaska facts?
Okay.
Is that in towns... it is considered proper to leave your car unlocked at all times in case somebody's walking by and a moose rolls in.
That's smart.
Yeah, because you need to be able to dive into a car.
Yeah.
And, like, you're just supposed to... that's what you're supposed to do when you see a moose, is look for whatever you can to put a door between you and the moose.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
That is terrifying.
You know where there's not moose? Pittsburgh.
No.
Yeah.
There are fucking geese,
I'm happy here.
There are geese, though. So if everybody could just leave their cars unlocked, for me, that'd be great. I'm not going to steal anything. I just worry about geese attacks. But they get to the house, and Margaret is like, you didn't tell me you were rich. He's like, I'm not rich. My parents are rich. And she's like, that's something a rich kid would say. Which
It is.
100% is. But they also kind of drop on them that they've decided to throw like a big welcoming party for them. So they roll up to the house, and the place is just jam-packed with people. We get our first glimpse of Ramon. It's like my favorite character in this fucking movie. Is Ramon.
By far.
Played by Oscar Nunez from The Office.
AKA Oscar from The Office.
Yeah. So his first job in this movie is he is working for the catering company at the house. Like, he's going around with hors d'oeuvres and whatnot. So we get a little interaction between him and Margaret where he like stuffs like a fish roll in her mouth.
Yeah, he
she
kind of
spits it all over him.
I don't know if he's attracted to her, like sexually or just as a person, but he has this weird attraction to her the entire movie.
Yeah.
And it starts here where he just shoves a fish roll down her face.
Yeah. We also meet Andrew's dad, played by Craig T. Nelson.
Coach is here.
Coach is here, and Coach is wise to the bullshit. Like, Coach is the only person in the family who is like, you hate this woman. Like, we all know you hate this woman, and now you show up here getting ready to marry her. And he kind of he jabs him a little bit, and he's like, I didn't picture you as the kind to sleep his way to the middle. Like, he thinks that he's sleeping with his boss just to get ahead, and he's not really getting that far because he's just an assistant, and he's not really...
icy line.
It is a very icy line. So Dad's kind of a dick. And
what's that note say?
Dad's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
We're on the same page here. Kind of like in spite, Andrew says, well, she's not my girlfriend. She's my fiance. We're engaged to be married. And they were kind of like playing it cool. Like, they were like waiting for the right time to tell people. At this point, Ryan Reynolds is just like, fuck it. Like, I'm telling everybody because my dad's a dick. And he goes out and just like, attention, everybody. I just want to let you know that Margaret and I are engaged. And
so we've seen marriage for convenience, marriage for insurance. We get a spite marriage.
we do get a spite marriage. Well, this one is also for citizenship.
Oh, yeah. It's a double.
Yeah. They both have their own kind of reasons. So Margaret hears this and kind of like comes out real quietly and wasn't really ready for any of this. Like it wasn't discussed when it was going to be said. So they're put on the spot. We get the return of Malin Ackerman.
Yeah, 27 dresses, right?
Yeah, she was the sister in 27 Dresses. In this, she's Gertrude the X.
Gertrude, what a great name.
And her character in this movie, unfucking necessary. Like, can you think of one thing about this movie that, like, had she not been in it, would be any different?
She's not, like, they set her up to be competition.
But she never is.
But she's not.
I feel like they might have cut scenes of hers or something. Like, there might have been more of a story to her because nothing comes from this.
Yeah, there's multiple scenes where she enters the scene. You're like, all right, this is where she drops the shoe.
Yeah.
And she becomes just a raging asshole.
Yeah, which I gotta say, like...
Every time she's pleasant and lovely.
Yeah.
And then she leaves
Super
without
nice.
contributing anything to the movie.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta say, like, you know me, I'm kind of a stickler on, like, run times of movies.
Yeah.
So when I popped this on, it was like an hour and 26 minutes. I was immediately in heaven. I was like, I'm gonna rate this very highly just because it's short. But, so they probably could have afforded not to cut out so much if they did cut anything. But I do think that part of her storyline had to have been left out. Because it seems like she should have been a bigger deal than she was. But
Agreed.
that's just Malin Ackerman for you. You know?
The most attractive wallpaper you can find.
Yeah. So, she just kind of comes over and talks to Ryan Reynolds a little bit. And that's it. Like you said, she swoops into a scene. She does absolutely nothing, and she swoops out. It's what she does. This will happen more as the movie goes on. They have like a weird thing where the family all asks them like about their engagement story, and they kind of go back and forth. Andrew says, well, why don't you tell it? And she starts telling it, but she's making him sound like a real wuss. Like she's like, oh,
Yes.
He cried, he was sobbing, he was on his knees, and he's like, no, and then I did this and this, and they go back and forth, and the whole thing makes no sense. But somehow everyone's like, it's beautiful. And like people are crying. It's not that great a story. And then this is a thing that I really don't like, and it makes me uncomfortable. And we saw this in Leap Year.
Oh, the forcing them to kiss?
Yeah, the weird forced kiss.
Yeah, where you get the confusion sploosh at the end.
Yeah.
Did I feel something?
Yeah. But, it starts out with like Betty White is like, give her a kiss, and then kisses her on the hand. And then like there's just some guy in the crowd, he's like, no, kiss her like you mean it. Kiss her. With tongue, like just real aggressively, like kiss her for real, brother. Like I'm gonna use this tonight. I need you to kiss her.
I'm gonna use
right now. But they do, like you said, they kiss.
See him pull open the camera phone.
But they do kiss, and like you said, there's kind of that moment where it starts out real awkward, and they kind of like melt into each other, and then at the end they both kind of pull back, like, I'm not sure how I feel right now. That might have been good. It might not. I'm not sure what just happened.
Oh, Camel Lights and Schlitz. I like you.
From there, like the party's all over, and they take them up to the room they're going to be in. And then Margaret is like, well, where's my room? And they're like, oh, we're not prudes here, hon. Like, you guys are engaged. You're going to share a bedroom.
That guy from the party's going to stand watch outside the door.
He's in the closet, actually.
Oh, wait. You missed the part that freaked me the hell out.
What's that?
Was they introduced this adorable little dog and then immediately talk about
this is it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah, so they take him into the room and they show the room, but they also bring in the dog, which I fucking love it when animals have human names. I don't know why. But it is this cutest little dog, and his name is fucking Kevin. I think that's just great. Like, I don't know why. Like, if I ever get a dog...
You look like you're trying to bite your earlobes right
I'm
now.
smiling. Ear to ear. Like, I'm a big animal lover, but... like, any dog I ever get is getting, like, just a dude's name. Like, it's just going to be, like, Russ or Ralph or...
Yeah.
Whatever. Like, I'm going to name my dog after a person. But Betty White's like, oh, this is Chuck. Don't let him outside. Did I say Chuck?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about if I got a dog, I'd name it Chuck, because that's your name. This is Kevin.
You'd name your dog after me?
Yeah, I think I would. Chuck's a good dog name. This is Kevin. Please don't let him outside because the Eagles will swoop down and take him away.
I almost texted you just to be like, look, when you're watching this, don't worry. The dog doesn't die.
I can't do movies where anything bad happens to animals, so I was concerned. But they also, Betty White gives them like a nil. She's like, if it gets cold, use this quilt that I've made. It has magical powers. We call it the baby maker. So they're like just hoping they get down.
They're laying it down.
Yeah, they're hoping they get down.
I ever tell you about the first time I brought a girl home to my parents?
No.
My mother, as we've discussed before, the condom lady pulled out the shopping bag full of condoms.
Jesus.
To make sure that, because she was just super happy that her boy was getting some, but wanted to make sure that everybody was protected.
That's nice.
It made the baby maker blanket made me think of that.
Yeah. So from there, they go to bed for the night. She sleeps in the bed. He sleeps on the floor. He gives her a hard time about the pajamas she's wearing. She's wearing like this like very tiny like silky pajamas. Like they're pretty revealing. But she also says to him, like, I thought I was going to be staying in a hotel room by myself, because that was the original plan.
Yeah, they're feminine, and she hasn't really been very feminine this entire movie.
But, they go to sleep. The next morning, her phone's ringing, and she can't find it. And the great assistant that Andrew is, he's like, it's in your purse, side pocket, whatever. She gets it. It's the writer with the Oprah deal. And she's still on the fence about Oprah, so she's still working out the details. So she goes to go outside and leaves the door open, and little Kevin gets out. And as she's on the phone with him, sure as shit, here comes an eagle. Scoops Kevin up, and I freaked out.
I'm picturing you, edge of the couch.
Kevin,
chewing on your fingernails.
So she sees Kevin get swooped up, so she's like running after this eagle, throws her phone at it, and the eagle drops Kevin, thankfully, and she catches Kevin. Runs and grabs her phone, and then she's on her way back into the house when the eagle swoops down and takes her phone. At this point, another reason I don't think she's a great person, she tries to give Kevin back to the eagle.
She's bargaining.
In exchange for her phone. So she is running through the yard, just holding Kevin up in the air, like, take the dog.
While mom and grandma are watching from the window, like, oh yeah, she does get along with the dog.
Yeah, she thinks it's adorable that she's bonding with Kevin. Ryan Reynolds goes out and, like, finds out what's going on, gets her, like, sorted out, and gets Kevin back in the house. And we find out that grandma and mom have a big day planned for Margaret. Like, they're going to do like a bachelorette party for her. We get a scene. Andrew goes over to where his dad is like knocking golf balls into the lake. And they start to have a talk. And at first, like, dad's like, I should apologize for the way I acted. And then goes right into being a dick again. Sorta.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he is basically like, he just shits on his career.
Yeah. He tells him, like, I've been thinking about like what I'm going to do when I die and like a will. And obviously, like, they've built, like, an empire in this little town. Like, he owns everything. They got a ton of money. Andrew's the only son. And Andrew's just like, I don't want that life. Like, I'm not coming back here. Like, I live in the city now. Like, I'm an editor. And Dad is like, all you do is read books all day, you fucking nerd. Like, it's pretty much the vibes he's giving off.
Yeah.
And so they get in an argument, and Andrew walks off. Then we get to see Margaret's big day that the ladies had planned for her. They take her to the most wholesome, sweet little strip club I've ever seen. And who's the dancer, CJ?
Oscar.
Ramon.
Yeah, he's...
This is his second job of the movie.
Surprisingly, I mean, he's definitely not in amazing shape, but surprisingly better shape than I thought Ramon was going to be in.
Yeah.
He had moves.
Yeah, he was dancing. Yeah, he's dancing. So he's doing a little dance, and I love the line where the mom is like, oh, Ramon's like our only exotic dancer on the island, and Betty White's like, but we're lucky to have him. And they get Margaret up on stage in a chair, and he does like a chair dance for her, where he is like just sticking his butt in her face, like crotch in the face.
This dude had hair sticking out of the side of his underwear. Oh, man.
But she gets the dance, and like you can tell, like she's kind of starting to loosen up. Like she's laughing a little bit, like she's having an okay time. Like she's definitely awkward as hell on that stage, but like she's also like seeing all the girls react, and she's like kind of like holding back smiles and holding back laughs. She gets done with the dance, and she goes outside for some air, and Malin Ackerman comes out, says a bunch of stuff that doesn't matter, and then fucks right off.
I was just thinking, like, I don't remember any part of that conversation. The part of that conversation I remember is you notice in the background, the door opens up here and there.
Yeah.
And every time Betty White and Ramon are just in a different position dancing with each other.
Yeah, like on the stage, yeah.
Which is probably why I don't remember any of the actual conversation, because I wanted to see what the hell was going on there.
So what Malin Ackerman's character does say is she just gives a little bit of background on like her and Andrew's relationship. Just saying that they dated through high school and some of college. So they're like a pretty long-term relationship. And he actually asked her to marry him. And she said no, because like he wanted to move to the city and he had like these big dreams and like that was for him, but not for her. So they didn't get married and they didn't stay together because of that. Could have not happened at all. The movie would play out the exact same way. Not a lick of difference did you make Malin Ackerman.
Damn true.
I've only ever seen Malin Ackerman in one movie that I actually enjoyed. Or I shouldn't say enjoyed, because I did like this movie to a degree.
I like Chuck a lot, the TV show.
She was in that?
Yeah, she was the love interest. She was the main...
No, she wasn't. That was Yvonne Straczynski. She was...
Well, that's how much I know about Malin Ackerman.
At least I think. I never watched Chuck, but I'm pretty
sure. No, you're
sure.
absolutely right.
Okay.
That's how much I know about Malin Ackerman.
No, Malin Ackerman is in Watchmen.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
She's good. I like her in that. But that's like the only thing I've ever seen.
I just found out that's two different people.
That's how little of an impact Malin Ackerman makes. But, you know, they come back from the trip to the city, to the little strip club, and we see that Andrew is, like, furiously hatcheting out a canoe in the front yard, and Mom and Grandma immediately know that, like, something happened, because this is what he does when he gets angry. He does angry hatchet work. They go inside. Mom kind of goes and lights Dad up. Like, what did you do? Like, why are you you know, you need to make sure you don't chase him away. Because they don't ever see him, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Like, he left and he doesn't get home very often.
On the few chances he does get to go home, she probably makes it so
Which
he
makes
doesn't.
sense. I had to look up, like, what it would take to fly to fucking Sitka, Alaska. It's like $1,000 each way. So, like, that's a lot of money to go home and visit for a weekend. Yeah.
But if your folks own half the town.
You'd think they'd fly. Maybe they do.
Yeah.
I don't know. But during this, Margaret like wants to go upstairs and she wants to wash all of Ramon's body oil off, she says. So she goes up, gets in the shower. When she gets out, there's no towels in the bathroom. And for some reason now she is afraid of Kevin the dog. So she goes to open the bathroom door and Kevin is there and just barking at her.
Yeah, not even like growling or anything. He just looks adorable. Yeah, he's super fluffy. You don't have a towel. Grab the dog.
You wipe yourself down with Kevin.
Yeah.
But she can't get to where the towels are, so she's like trying to move around Kevin. Meanwhile, Andrew comes up all sweaty from hatcheting out that canoe, and as you do, just goes out in the balcony and gets butt naked, takes his clothes off out there.
I used to have an apartment that the back deck like overlooked the entire valley of Pittsburgh, like the rivers and stuff.
Yeah.
I gotta say I took advantage of it
really?
once or twice.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
I hear you.
I was in a little bit better shape then, but you know.
Nothing wrong. Hey, if nobody's seeing you, who cares what shape you're in?
Oh no, there's houses below me.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
Yeah.
So they have like naked collision essentially because he's got his earbuds in, doesn't know she's in there in the shower. She finally gets around Kevin, locks him in the bathroom, and as she goes to turn around, he's naked, he's turning around, and they just bump bits.
And she's pregnant.
And she is, yes. And the way they fall though was hilarious to me. Like they fell in slow motion. Like they bumped into each other and they basically just slid down until they were on top of each other. And it's very comical.
Actually naked.
Well, they had
or did they have like modesty socks?
They had modesty socks. They had protective pieces, but they did say that they had fallen off a few times. Like they fell off a few times, like during the filming. But I guess Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds were friends for like 9 years before they even filmed this movie.
I've been friends with you about 9 years.
Do you want to get naked?
No.
No, all right.
That's what I'm saying. Never seen you naked. Never gonna.
I'll wear a sock. But yeah, so they have this like weird collision where they slide and then fall, end up on top of each other, and like both freak out. Like, why are you naked? Why are you naked? We get past that. They kind of work through things and they go put some clothes on. And then from there, we get actually like a nice touching moment where she's in bed, he's on the floor. And she asks him, like, what's going on with you and your dad? He says he doesn't want to talk about it. So she says, okay, well, if you don't want to talk about it, let me tell you all, like, the embarrassing things that, like, I don't ever tell anybody. So this is finally her, like, letting her guard down and kind of loosening up a little bit.
Well, she's trying to help study for the test
That's
Monday,
not what
right?
I got the sense of. No, I didn't think so. I thought this was just, like, her, like, actually lightening up a little bit and trying to be nice. So she tells him that, like, you know, her parents died when she was 16. Tells him that she hasn't slept with anybody for 18 months, which I didn't think was that weird or that long of a time. I guess this is just supposed to be for our benefit. Like, this lady needs to get some. Like,
you look like Sandra Bullock.
What we're supposed to think.
You don't have to wait long, you know?
Yeah, it tells him that her first concert was DJ Easy Rock and Rob Bass.
Yeah.
So that was nice. Like, we finally get like a little, like, and they both kind of like sing the song together and kind of laugh and joke, and it's very sweet. And he actually, I think, tells her at this point, like, don't take this the wrong way, but you're a very attractive woman, he says to her.
Yeah.
Kind of flirting it up a little bit at this point.
He ain't lying.
No, he ain't lying. Next morning, they get a knock on the door, and it's Mom with breakfast in bed. And they have to, like, scramble because he's on the floor and she's in the bed. And they don't want it to look like they're not sleeping together. So he gets into bed, and there's a fun morning wood joke where she's like, "What is that?"
Morningwood's real, and it is a plight on humanity.
It is. And he's like,
I like to sleep on my stomach, man, and I just don't get to as much as I'd like to.
he's like, it's morning. I'm sorry. So then they finally get like snuggled up in bed. Mom comes in, and then Grandma comes in, and then Dad comes in, and then there's just an awkward like. The whole family's in there, and like in my mind, it was just like, he has a fucking weird boner right now.
Yeah.
That's all I could think of.
Meanwhile, in every scene like this, the baby-making blanket comes into play at some point. Somebody shuffles it one way or
they
another.
throw it. They treat that thing like it's the plague. Like, they don't let that baby-making blanket anywhere near them, and it's hilarious the way they play with that thing. But they come in, and they're like, we want you to get married here tomorrow because, it's Grandma's 90th birthday. She might not be around long. We want her to get to see it. So they kind of reluctantly agree to it after being kind of like goaded into it. Betty White plays the "I could die at any moment" card like a lot in this movie.
Yeah,
and it's fantastic. So they kind of guilt them into doing it the next day. So Sandra Bullock is like, I need to get a little bit of air. And she goes and takes a bike ride. Horribly.
Not only horribly, just if you're ever in Alaska, do not go by yourself into the wilderness for any reason whatsoever.
That's a good point.
Take a gun.
That's a good point.
Yeah, take a small army.
She's
like
on a
something.
bike that's clearly meant for like paved roads. It's got like a basket on it. Like, and it's not like a fucking 12
we're
speed.
talking mooses, bears.
I think it's just moose.
Lost Russians. Like there's terrible things in their wilderness of Alaska.
The Palins are up there running around somewhere.
Fuck.
But she runs into Grandma doing like some weird Native American shit. And I was like, this probably could have been left out.
Now, this is something I did read later, was that very little of this was actually shot in Alaska. Matter of fact, a lot of these scenes, I thought they were green screened.
See, I don't know. I read that this movie was shot in Boston.
Yeah, so that's probably why they didn't find any actual Native American people to do this. They could have found somebody with a little bit of Inuit descent to be involved in this movie somewhere.
Was I supposed to believe that Betty White was like part Native American? Because she ain't that. I love Betty White, and she can do a lot of things, but she ain't Native American.
Not at all.
But she's doing like some weird chants, and she says it's like a fertility ritual. Like, she is really trying to get Sandra Bullock pregnant in this movie. By hook or by crook. But they do like this fun, and this is actually, if it wasn't for like the fucking Native American stereotyping and like whitewashing of it, it's pretty funny because like she tries to get Sandra Bullock to chant along with her, and she does the windows to the wall, like the Little John song, and Betty White's dancing along with her, and like she really kind of gets loose, like lets her hair down a little bit.
And she's kind of dancing to it in a way that only a middle-aged white woman can.
Yeah.
Like, it is great.
Yeah, and it's actually really fun. At this point, Ryan Reynolds like stumbles across him in the woods. He's been looking for Margaret and lets her know that her phone has come in. They ordered a new phone that was taken away by the Eagle. And they have to go into town to the general store to get it. Guess who works at the general store, CJ?
I'm going to guess Meredith from The Office.
Nope, it's Oscar from The Office. It's Ramon in his third job that he has in this movie.
Where he's still weirdly hitting on her the entire time.
Yes. So they go and they get her phone, and she looks online and it sees that she has like 37 emails or something like that. And she needs to get to a computer. So he takes her over to like their dial-up computer, which takes dimes.
Yeah.
Like, you need to put money in to use the internet.
For 1 minute.
Yeah, for 1 minute. So she's like pumping dimes in this thing and checking her email. She looks out the window, and we see Ryan Reynolds, Andrew, and Malin Ackerman talking. We don't actually hear any of this conversation.
They're talking about the weather.
Yeah. But Sandra Bullock gets like this look on her face like, oh, she's kind of sad that they're talking.
You don't
to
talk
each other.
about exciting things with Miss Ackerman.
But again, totally pointless. Malin Ackerman. Like,
well, because they meet back up in the street moments later, she doesn't address that at all.
No.
They just chat. They go right about their life.
Yeah. They run into Mom and Grandma again, and they want to take her away for a dress fitting. It's been a few movies since we've had a dress fitting, so I was excited.
That's true.
We didn't get a montage, though. It was just one dress, no fun music to set to. It was just a dress.
And that dress was ugly.
It was Betty White's old dress. It was from like the 40s.
That's true, yeah.
It was sweet. It's kind of funny because it's like kind of big and baggy on her, and Betty White's like, well, I was pretty busty, and I was pregnant at the time, too. And they're trying to find like Sandra Bullock's boobs in this dress. She actually likens it to an Easter egg hunt.
Yeah, she's groping her up too.
Yeah, she is. So they get her in the dress. And then after that, Betty White gives her this necklace. It's like this really sweet, like, I've had this in my family. Like, my mom and dad had it. And this is where she kind of explains that, like, she is of Native American descent, or like Inuit, which we all know is bullshit. But she says that, like, her dad was like a Russian immigrant and like her mom was Native American, and they got together.
I'm not buying it.
I'm not either. And then Margaret reminds her of her mother because she was tough and gives her this necklace. And Margaret, like, doesn't want to take it. Like, keeps trying to
This is where it all starts to turn for her.
Yeah, doesn't want to take it. And she finally, like, accepts it and kind of tears up and is, like, you know, emotional about it. Andrew's waiting on the boat to take him back to the house, and she gets in the boat and goes right for the steering wheel. I don't think this woman's ever driven a boat before. She says earlier in the movie that she hates boats.
She doesn't know how to swim.
She doesn't know how to swim. She gets in the driver's seat and just takes off like a bat out of hell. A boat out of hell, if you will.
She knows what she's doing.
Yeah, she
out of nowhere.
She was in Speed 2 cruise control, was she not?
This is true.
Yeah, she's been on a large boat. She probably knows what she's doing. But Ryan Reynolds tries to talk some sense into her, and she's real emotional. She's like, I forgot what it was like to have a family. Like, your family is so nice, and they're so inviting, and they're...
She's given, like, the I forgot what it was like to have feelings speech.
Yeah, she definitely doesn't have feelings for a lot of this movie. And then she finally does and freaks out.
Like, I decided to become a sociopath, but now the spell's kind of broken.
You know, she's like, I can't do this to them. Like, I don't want to lie to them. And he's like, it's fine. Like, they're not going to find out. We're going to do this. Everything's going to be fine. They're about to hit a buoy, so he, like, grabs the wheel and turns away. She falls into the water. He has to save her because she can't swim. And then they're, like, embracing on the way back. Like, he's keeping her warm. It's very sweet.
It's nice. You
know, as you do. They get back to the house, and Dad is waiting for him and calls him into the barn. And he says, like, your mother never finds out about any of this. He takes him in the barn. Mr. Gilbertson's there. Fucking super cop extraordinaire.
So you saw this guy's windowless office, right?
Yeah.
Stacks of paperwork everywhere. This guy does not have the funds to be traveling to the middle of nowhere, Alaska.
Oh, this is all on the taxpayer's dime, CJ.
I don't see it. Like, this guy's gone way too far.
No, they're trying to stop immigration fraud. Like, this guy is... He's on the ball.
I mean, he makes a few references to, like, old school, like, cop, like Humphrey Bogart types.
Yeah. Where
he's trying to emulate them, but, like, nobody's paying for this guy to do this. Nobody wants this guy to do this.
He's just got a real hard-on for Andrew and Margaret for some reason.
Like, this guy eats the stew out of the can when he gets home for dinner. Like,
but we find out that, like, Dad and him have been in contact, and Dad worked out a deal. Like, negotiated a deal for Andrew that if they admit to it and he puts out a statement in writing, nothing will happen to him. Like, no fines, no jail time. Margaret gets deported. Everything's great. Andrew defiantly says, you'll get my statement on Monday. I'll see you at the wedding tomorrow. And they walk out. They go back to the room, and Margaret's like, are you sure you're okay with this? And he's like, I don't know. But we're going to do it. We're in too deep now at this point. Next day, the wedding. And I got to tell you, they decided to have this wedding the day before. How did they set this shit up in a day?
They're loaded.
Still, that seems like a lot. I guess, though.
It's beautiful,
like,
too.
If every business in the town is owned by you, like, you've probably got, like, florists on speed dial that work directly for you. But they set up the barn, like, beautiful wedding.
Invite the Fed.
Gilbertson, he's there. Yeah. And then Gertrude, Malin Ackerman, is there as well for no reason. Like, why did you invite this guy's ex to his wedding? It seemed like there should have been more to this story.
Like,
that just wasn't
at best,
there.
you can come to a reception. You're not coming to my special day.
Yeah. Margaret comes out, walks down the aisle to the altar. Who's officiating the wedding, CJ?
Of course.
Kevin from The Office. No, it's Oscar. Ramon.
Holding a big old pot of chili.
Fourth job of the movie is a wedding officiant. But Margaret has a moment of clarity where she can't do this. Turns around, makes an announcement to everybody, like, what happened. She says, like, I forced him to do this. I blackmailed him into marrying me. I'm sorry. You guys are all wonderful, and I can't do this to any of you. She runs out. The whole family is flabbergasted, except for Dad, because Dad knew what was going on. Mm-hmm. She actually walks by Gilbertson. She's like, I'll meet you at the dock. You're taking me to the airport. Like, she bosses this guy around. Like, he's the one that's, like, trying to catch them, and she's telling him what to do. Andrew goes back to the room to try to find her, and the necklace is there, the dress is there, and there's a note for him that tells him that, like, the manuscript that he's been pushing on her to read is actually really good, and she didn't want to push it forward because she would lose him as an assistant because he would get promoted, and he has a really great eye for this kind of stuff. In walks Malin Ackerman. Again, I mean,
she opens her mouth and it just sounds like the parents from Charlie Brown.
I guess this is the most she could have done in this movie.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much.
She at least, like, I don't even know what she does. Like, she just walks in and she's like,
basically says, like, go get her,
yeah, she's
tiger.
like, what's going on? Or she's like, are you okay? And Andrew's like, I can't believe she'd do this to me. Like, she's been so horrible to me this entire time. And now she leaves me this nice note, and it's like, it's infuriating. And Malin Ackerman's like, so, are you going to go get her? And he has, like, this moment where he's like, you know what? I am, because you are boring as shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to stay in this room with you any longer, Malin Ackerman. So he goes out, and he's on his way to get to the airport, and, like, he's leaving the wedding.
We get an airport run.
We do get an airport. We get a proper mad dash to the airport. But Dad is like trying to stop him, and Mom and Grandma are freaking out because they still need the whole story, and he's like trying to explain to them he has to go get her. So Betty White has a heart attack. And at this point I was like, oh Jesus Christ, is Betty White gonna die now? Like, because I didn't know what was going on. She was pretty convincing. So they have to call in I mean, she's been acting since like the fucking 50s. So
yeah.
God bless her. She's got some chops.
She's good. She's pretending to be dead for 2 years.
No.
She's going to bust out any moment now.
I wish that was true.
I know.
It's not.
I'm going to cut that joke.
R.I.P. Betty. I love Betty White so much. I love Betty White almost as much as I love dogs with human names. If I have a female dog, I'm going to name it Betty. So from there, they have to get like a little airplane, like the paramedics come in an airplane to take her away. And in the airplane, she takes off like the respirator and like explains to them that she was faking it just to get them to the airport. Clutch move by Grandma.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's a fast
move.
ticket to the airport. So they get to the airport and he gets there and he's trying to get them to like stop the plane from taking off.
And this is a weird scene. First, because why isn't Oscar the air traffic controller?
Do you know who the air traffic controller was?
His like stoner buddy?
It was the guy from the party that was trying to make them kiss.
Yeah, like the stoner
it was the same guy. Yeah.
And all I can think is like, this guy shouldn't be in charge of the fryer.
You're right, though. It should have been Oscar, or Oscar should have been one of the paramedics. Oscar should have been like in every fucking scene as like a different
but
job.
like, all I could think is like, he's calling this guy, and the guy's like, yeah, man, like, let's, oh no, the plane's already in the air. And I'm like, could you imagine being on a plane and the pilot goes to talk to air traffic controller and fucking Don Henley or
Joe Walsh?
Joe Walsh picks up the phone and you're like, no, we're all gonna die. Like, we're going right into that mountain.
That's your second Joe Walsh reference in 2 weeks. Is that going to be a thing?
Can I say there was only one redeeming part of the Eagles?
So he misses her plane. Like he tries to get the guy to make it not take off, but it takes off anyway. Cut back to Boston or New York, whatever big city they live in, and she's packing up her office. And Andrew walks in. He's out of breath, and she's like, "Why are you out of breath?" And he's like, "I was running." And she was like, "From Alaska?" Just kind of a funny line. But he tells her, like, basically that he loves her and that he wants to marry her so that he can have a chance to date her. Which is a little backwards, but whatever. So he doesn't want her to get deported because he has to.
Yeah, it's a romantic line.
Yeah. So, like, she at first kind of, like, pushes back and says that she's comfortable alone. That's why she's been alone for so long. But eventually gives in. He gives her it kind of pulls the move that I was talking about with Justin Long, where you just kiss her to shut her up.
Yeah.
She's, like, trying to explain why they shouldn't be together, and he's like, no. And then just, here's my tongue.
Yep.
Talk no more. And that just melts the pants right off of her, and she's like, all right, we're getting married. Cut back to Mr. Gilbertson's office, and he's like, we're doing this again? And they're like, yeah. And he's like, all right, well, we're going to have to do your deposition then. And then roll credits. But we get, like, some really fun scenes where
he's interviewing everybody from the movie.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like Ramon is back. The mom and dad are there. I'm like, why are they all in Boston? Why is Ramon not in Alaska? Yeah. But that's it. Like, we just get, like, this scenes of them, like, answering the questions. Like, very comical, very funny. Good stuff, like I thought. It looked like it was all probably improvised, too. Like, it all seemed like improv kind of.
That's the thing. Oscar Nunez he's a pretty well-known improv comedian.
Yeah.
Like, that's how he got the Office job. First season of The Office, he was a background character, and then they realized how funny he was and made him a permanent character.
Yeah. But I took one thing from this, and that was the officer asks Margaret if she's ever farted in front of Andrew, and she says, I will never fart in front of him, ever. Right on, Sandy B.
Divorced 2 months later.
I mean, they might be. But that's it. That's the movie. Grand gestures, flowers, anything from you?
Yeah, I've thought about this a few times. and I can't believe I'd never ask you this on these movies, and I think I'm going to start asking you more and more often. Maybe not as a permanent thing, but do they stay together? Like, do you give this relationship legs?
So this was actually at least part of my grand gestures. If what we saw to be true when they showed all their answers from the interrogation, they got so many wrong. I'm pretty sure she still got deported. Like, I think this movie ends with her going to Canada, and Andrew might end up in jail because none of their answers were jiving. Regardless, do they end up together?
Yeah.
If she doesn't get deported, I think they got a 50-50 shot. Thought they had good chemistry.
I give them a year and a
thought that
half.
she was actually like a good person at heart and just needed like someone to like actually care about her for her to like kind of open up. And I could see it working. I could also see it not working.
I give him a year and a half.
Yeah. Okay.
But I like the way it ended.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. In a real world scenario, she's in Canada right now and he's in prison.
Yeah.
So probably not together. Anything else?
The cop is apparently getting the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Yes.
It did throw me off, all the scenes where they're going to bed and it's full daylight, and then it took me a while to realize, like, oh, that's right, it's Alaska. It doesn't get dark there. Because that's even like when they're doing the bachelorette party. I'm like, is this supposed to be like 9 p.m., but it's bright and sunny out? Like,
no, in Alaska, when you see Ramon dance, it's always at like noon. It's like a matinee show.
That's right. He's got to be at home.
Yeah.
He's got to be.
He's got to be at one of his 7
He's got to be back
other
at
jobs.
the orphanage, taking care of those kids.
He's got 7 other jobs to do. Yeah. Mine. I guess all I really want to say is because I told you that I thought that this was going to be one of those uptight businesswoman needs a man to loosen her up kind of scenarios. That kind of trope.
Still not sure it's not.
I liked what they did here because I don't feel like it was him that loosened her up. I feel like she fell in love with the whole family. And I thought that was kind of nice. Like, it wasn't really him so much. Like, yeah, there was a flirtation, but like, she didn't really start to open up until she started hanging out with the mom and the grandma. And then the more she did, like, those were when she had the different breakthroughs. Like, those were when she started to like soften up all those times with them. Like, that's when you saw her like at her most vulnerable, because like they touch on it. They don't really go into it a ton about the fact that she was 16 when her parents died. So like, what was her life like? Was she like an orphan? Was she in the system? Like, she never really had like that family.
Yeah.
So like, it was kind of like the family is what really brought her around and softened her up. It wasn't the guy. Like, he was part of the package. When you look like Ryan Reynolds, it's not a bad package to have. Yeah. Ew. But like, I thought that was nice. Like, I thought that it wasn't what I was expecting. It wasn't so much him that loosened her up and like made her feel feelings. It was mom and grandma and like the whole warm and embracing they were of her.
Coach probably still had her deported at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't the greatest guy, but yeah, it was like, yeah, there was never really any resolution with that. Like, he never really accepted the fact that Andrew wanted to be an editor or like moved away. Like, I feel like he's still going to have a lot of issues with his dad. For sure. Moving forward. They never really tied up those ends. But that's mine. The only other thing I have is that Julia Roberts was actually the first choice to play Margaret.
Oh, that's, of course.
She reportedly refused to take a pay cut, so Sandra Bullock took over the role. That was the second movie in the same year that Julia Roberts turned down that went to Sandra Bullock instead.
The Blind Side.
Which she won an Oscar for. So Julia Roberts probably kicking herself in the ass over that one. Although I'm sure she doesn't have a lot of room on her award shelf. But that's what I got for that. Shall we chick flick it to a dick flick it?
Sure.
I feel like I got a good one.
I think I do too.
All right, you go first.
Okay. So when they first get to the town, she notices like it's Paxton written on everything. All right. And he's like, yeah, my dad's sort of a big deal around here.
Sort of.
And then I want there to be these little weird clues going on, especially with Ramon. So, like, Ramon takes his shirt off and he has, like, a huge scar going across one side.
Okay.
And she's like, what's that all about? And he's like, oh, I fell. And then Malin Ackerman, she looks down. Malin Ackerman's wearing, like, open-toed shoes and she's missing a pinky.
Oh.
And she's like, well, what happened? She's like, well, when I broke up with him and then there was this, you know what? I don't want to go into it. You know, and all these weird little clues. And then when it gets to that golf scene, where he's shooting balls out into the thing, turns around, there's just a guy like tied to that little buoy that he's shooting golf balls at.
Oh, Jesus.
And you start to realize that like Paxton's not like the family business. Like the family business is the mob.
Oh.
Like this place it is the Alaskan wilderness mob. Like he owns the town.
Okay.
So she finally realizes it whenever they go into the barn and the dad's like, you guys can't tell anybody about this ever. And and then the Mr. Gilbert, the cop, walks out and he pulls out his badge. And as soon as he pulls out the badge, Coach just pulls out a gun and shoots him.
Jesus.
And she's like, what the hell's going on? And like realizes this whole town is mobbed up to hell and back.
Yeah.
It becomes this whole sort of thing where she has to marry him because now she knows too much.
That's making a lot more sense too, with like him trying to pull Andrew into the family business and like wanting him in it.
Yes, yeah. Who's he going to trust
to
take over this town? We're going to say that they got an illegal salmon trade.
Okay. I like it. All right. Mine, have you seen the movie Get Out by Jordan Peele?
Yeah, absolutely.
So mine, I took a little bit of inspiration from that. We find out, she goes back to this town to get married to Andrew and meet his family. And Ramon plays a big part in this. We see Ramon 4 times in 4 different jobs. Up that to about 20. And we start to realize that Ramon isn't one person. Like Ramon there's 20 of him. And what happens is
they cloned Ramon.
They don't clone Ramon. Well, they do. But what they do is they bring people back into the town and they turn them into Ramon. And basically make them indentured servants. So eventually it's going to be like the Paxton family and then everyone's a fucking Ramon.
Like they searched the planet for the most genetically gullible and easygoing person they could. And they're like, we're just going to make everybody this person.
Yeah. So the whole movie is just Sandra Bullock starting to realize that at one point they're at the dance club and someone takes a picture and Ramon's face changes and he starts to cry. In that scene and Get Out. And everything about Ramon is just real off. And then we find out that they've just been turning Andrew's actually a part of it and he's been bringing people back.
So she's going to be Ramon?
On every time grandma has a birthday. So this is the 90th birthday. So yearly they bring someone new back and turn them into a Ramon.
Wow.
And they're just trying to populate the town of Sitka with Ramones. All right, so that's mine. Shall we? God, should we Nick Cage it? I mean,
it's kind of obvious.
It's got to be Ramon, right?
Yeah, it's got to be him. But the way I want it to work is kind of also on a supernatural bend like that. I want it to be different Nick Cages.
Oh.
So, you get long-haired Nick Cage from Con Air.
Yeah.
You get young, crazy Nick Cage from...
Raising Arizona?
Raising Arizona. Yeah. Little different themes, and maybe they even run into each other here and there.
I love it.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. All right. I had to connect them to Betty White.
Nice.
Who are you not going to... you got to. Betty White was in a movie called Lake Placid about the giant alligator.
Probably the best Betty White movie.
Yeah, she is really good in that.
I mean, she's feeding people to a giant alligator.
She is. That movie also starred Bill Pullman.
Who's not Bill Paxton.
He's not Bill Paxton. Bill Pullman was in Wyatt Earp, which also had Jeff Fahey. He played Booth in the movie Machete, starring Danny Trejo, who was also in Con Air with Nicolas Cage.
Johnny 13?
Yeah. 13 Roses.
Ugh.
Yeah, he was a real creep in that movie.
Yeah.
You know who's not a real creep? Betty White.
That's true.
She's a fucking national treasure. Big ups to Betty. I'll pour one out for her. Let's review it. What say you, CJ?
Damn it. I didn't think I was going to come in with a higher one on this, but I'm up between a 3.75 and a 4.
Yeah?
I'm going to go 3.75.
Okay.
Because it's not like a... I don't know. I'll never see this one again, probably. Yeah. But it was a damn good movie.
Yeah.
And I think this conversation made me think more highly of it.
I think that's what we're here for. We're here to think and open minds. That's what we're here to do.
Sometimes we get a crappy movie that is fun to talk about. Sometimes we get a great movie that is not that great to talk about. This was a pretty decent movie that was also fun to talk about.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Because the bad ones are usually more fun to talk about and just rag on. But sometimes the good ones are so good that, what are you going to say that hasn't been said before? But, I think I'm going to come right in with you. I think 3.75 for me. It was fun. I laughed a lot. I mean, Betty White's an automatic star in itself.
Yeah.
Whatever score you were coming in at, you had to give it an extra one for Betty White.
That's true.
The chemistry was really good between the two. A lot of times when I watch these movies, I think about, the motives behind, the relationship and, the decisions they make and, whether or not they should even be together. I like these two together. I mean, it was definitely a shitty way to start it all out by blackmailing him into being your fake husband. Mm-hmm. But I liked the way they got to where they ended. where it was kind of a natural, like, just she softened up, and like he was always like a nice guy, but he was a little skeptical of her because of how like rigid and mean she was as a boss. But they kind of like met in the middle where like she softened up and he started to like see her for a different person than what he thought she was.
Yeah. After a whole bunch of tragedy, they kind of fell for each other. They call this pulling a Melania.
Oh, is that what this is?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. I thought that's what I did at the gym the other day. I can tweak something. Okay, well, that's good. Then I guess we should roll our next movie, CJ.
Yes, let's do that.
We are at
a decent one.
192.
Oh, we're high up on this list.
Uh-oh.
177.
The movie at 177 is Playing by Heart, and I don't know what that is, so let's look.
This is another one I've never heard of.
This is a 1998 film. Whoa. What? All right. In this tale of how love binds 11 random people from Los Angeles. So this almost sounds like a Love Actually before Love Actually. But wait a minute here. A married couple, Sean Connery and Gina Rollins, who played old Rachel McAdams in The Notebook, prepare to renew vows. A widowed mother, Ellen Bernstein, cares for a dying son, Jay Moore. So we're getting Jay Moore back again after Jerry Maguire.
Possibly playing a dramatic role?
He's a dying son. A couple, Madeline Stowe and Anthony Edwards, have an affair. A theater director, Gillian Anderson, strikes up a relationship with a stranger, Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart?
Yes. An aspiring actress, Angelina Jolie, pursues a shy young man and a lone man. Dennis Quaid talks of heartbreak to strangers.
This has got to be a terrible movie. You don't have a cast like this and never hear of this movie.
It's got a 60% on Rotten Tomatoes and like a 7 out of 10 on IMDb. It's billed as a comedy romance. 2 hours and 1 minute. That's right around the sweet spot. On anything more than 2 hours, I kind of zone out. So
I hope I laugh when Jay Moore dies.
How could you not? Guys, you just love to hate him. All right, well, until next time when we review Playing by Heart. I'm kind of excited for this one. I mean, Sean Connery. At least we're going to get some good accent jokes out of this, right? Yeah. But until next time when we review that movie, check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your iTunes at. Rate us, review us, tell us how much you love us so we don't get deported. I don't know if you guys know this, but CJ and I are both actually Canadian, and if we don't get enough good reviews, they're going to ship our ass back up to Kanakistan, and I don't know what we're going to do if we have to go back up there with all those fucking moose. It's going to be the worst. But anyhow, check us out in the socials. We're on Facebook. You've Got Mails. CJ makes a sweet, sweet meme every week for you guys, and they're always a delight. And then email us as well. you've.gotmails@yahoo.com. We'd love to hear from you. Tell us where you're listening from, why you're listening, how you found us. Ask us a question, you know. If you're interested in kind of pursuing like some kind of fake marriage to keep yourself in the country, we're open. I mean, for the right...
I mean, I am married already.
Well, I'm not. For the right price. I mean, no touching. But if you want to just do the whole like paperwork thing just to stay in the country, and I mean, I'm down.
Who knows? You could Melania and fall in love with him.
Well, I could. You never know.
We're going to make that a verb.
But until next time, everybody, stay romantic and don't be shitty to each other. Yeah. Sorry.